Hey, good morning. Just after lunch, actually. Um, just want to share a few crazy experiences I had this morning. I had lots over the weekend, but another one, and that's why I wanted to kind of bring up the topic of a crazy little thing called love. Um, I had a woman that I trusted. I let into my inner circle. Um, a nice person, a bit eccentric, but I shared some vulnerability with her a day or so ago, and she decided she wanted to fix me, and that's okay. That's her loving me and all this kind of stuff. But this morning, she texted me and told me I needed to go see someone to remove attachments from myself, and she was trying to pressure me through this kind of messy kind of love into going and talking to this person, and I did. I tried to approach them, but they haven't accepted my friendship yet, and all this stuff. But finally, to push me over the edge, she said, "I've seen you do this before. Maybe it's time to finally do this or whatever," which wasn't true. It was just a method that she used to coerce her children, and I didn't it didn't go well with me. So I just said, you won't talk to me like that. You're not going to coerce me. And if anything, you pushed me away from wanting to do that. And it ended up, in the end, she wouldn't even admit that she was trying to coerce me because that's in her version of love. And I started to reflect throughout my life and relationships and other things. And what we call love and what love is really has been so twisted. Let's go back to like love from our mother or whatever. Love can be slapping you in the hand and saying, "Don't touch that because it's not safe." Love can be giving you a spank on the bum because you yelled or cried or were too loud or whatever. Love can be this demented version of our old stories and the beliefs that we've been forced into as our parents grew up. Their version of love can be really distorted. And especially when you have like narcissism and codependency in our past, we come up with these phrases like all's fair in love and war. That was one that kind of popped into my head as I was preparing for this post. And what does that really mean? It means that you can do whatever the hell you want in the terms of love, whether it harms someone, because war is harming someone, and love is this thing that's supposed to be the opposite of war or violence. It's supposed to be this loving embrace, this beautiful smile, this softness, this whatever. But look at how, through some of these terms, crazy little thing called love, because people can put that sticker on anything, that word love. I'm loving you by forcing you not to do what you want to do. I'm loving you by knowing better. That's something that mothers use a lot, but I'm 52 years old. Loving me does not come with coercion. Loving comes with a discussion and review and understanding both perspectives. And a lot of this is lost right now. So in understanding, no, I don't like the word understanding, in understanding or clarifying and becoming aware of where our love comes from, what's acceptable in love, etc., we need to kind of understand some of these terms or go into some of these terms so that we can see what makes us tick. And setting a boundary today, when that showed up in my life, it was just like, boom, you're not going to talk to me like that, and you're not going to try and coerce me, and let's have a discussion. It's like, oh, then the wounded comes up, and then it's like, oh, I was loving you, and I can do anything I want in love. But no, once we're all grown up and adult, maybe as a child, under 18 or whatever, love is something else where it's like, oh, I'm protecting you. Love allows us to protect, and putting all these rules or other things creates this protection, but it also makes us frustrated because we're not getting choice in our life. And yes, as a parent, you can say that that's true, but trust me, it's something that the child's going to have to clean up later in life. It's so much easier just to put dictates and other things and then call it love. Oh, I'm loving you by you can't go out with your friends. I'm loving you by not letting you drink alcohol. Well, then guess what? When that person gets old enough, they're going to drink alcohol. They're going to probably go in excess because now it's this messy little thing that was never discussed or cleared up. So now it's a rebellion. So I'm just putting out into the air. Some of this stuff maybe feels messy and uncomfortable, but I think it's the truth for a lot of us, where we get loved and told we're being loved in these distorted ways that are in some ways feeding the person that's loving us. I had another experience just before I came on this live. Some young woman asked to be my friend or whatever, and I accepted the friendship, and then I found out it's a new Facebook account, and all of a sudden they're high on whatever, and it's like, okay, hey, what you looking for? And it's like, oh, I'm just here to check up on you. Can you send me a copy of your photo? It's like, why does she need a copy of my photo? And the words didn't match the name. It felt very foreign or Asian, like English is a second language. So as usual, have to put up these shields or whatever. Why does she need my photo? And then you start to realize that they're saying they love you and they're checking up on you and all this kind of stuff, but they're stealing energy from you. If you think you need somebody that you haven't even met yet to feel good about you or to love you, guess what? These attachments, these cords come in, and it's crazy. And I saw it right away, and it's like, well, why do you need my photo? But this happens all the time, where people are so lost, they'll create a new Facebook account, pretend to be somebody they're not, put beautiful pictures on it or whatever to try and get people's guards down, and then they suck you dry in this really indirect kind of strange way. So what is love for you? Where do you give love and say it's love when you're actually coercing a person? Where is it love and you try and get people's energy to side with you, even though you're trying to manipulate a little bit or control? Or who's doing that to you, and where does it not feel good? It feels kind of icky, that love. This isn't the true God's unconditional love. Like, even when that woman did that thing to me in the morning, I just said, goodbye, I love you. Because I love her. She doesn't know any other way, but it's not something I can hold close to me because it's a ticking time bomb of codependency. And to walk away in love protects us both. They maybe don't understand why, even though I explained the reason why, that I wouldn't had my integrity tested and other things. But to step away, not to try and fix or to, oh, let's figure this all out or just let them come into my circle. No, my circle is a very clear place where people are direct and they don't coerce, they don't whatever. Everything's a choice. It's like, hey, if she would have come and said, hey, any luck with that or whatever, and I support your decision one way or the other, probably would have made me even more want to go that direction rather than against. But the minute it becomes this twisted codependency or this weirdness, all of a sudden I had to step back because it didn't feel comfortable, didn't feel safe to let somebody in your inner circle that's loving you in this kind of coercive way is not healthy for either of us. And to stand in my boundary and gently push back saved us both a bunch of trouble. So that's a new version of love, starting to see what feels good in my heart and welcome people in that add to that feeling good, add to that safety of being direct and not coercive, but But all too often, with family relationships and other things, we let this demented version, oh, you can't go against the family, oh, family's for life, and you can't speak back or defend yourself because that would be against the family. I see this stated so often, and then people getting like bludgeoned to death with other people's problems, and I need support, and I'm hurting, and my life's falling apart, so sit with me and let's sing Kumbaya with it. That's not love. Love is, hey, this is crazy. Until you make a decision for yourself and stop asking us to help you, I can't sit with you. I can't listen to this anymore. That's love. That's supporting a person to get back on their feet without giving anything to them other than direct truth and a reflection of what you're seeing. And I see this over and over and over again. It happened this weekend where people have been stuck in a pattern for their whole life, and anybody that's not in that pattern with them or feeling low like them, then they want to attack and they want to poke and they want to jab and they want to make that other person feel uncomfortable until they stop because they're feeling uncomfortable because they don't like it. That's not love. Standing in love is shining back and saying, hey, I'm not going to let you talk to me like that. That's disgusting. What's wrong? You want to talk? Ugh, they'll run away. But that's love. Love is, Melinda's saying she's she's had that experience with men a lot. So I'm seeing that from feminine in my life. So there's this distortion, and we're working through it. And by asking questions like this, listening to a live like this, seeing my reflection, share your reflection below. I'm happy. Thank you, Linda, for sharing that. We're working through it. We're trying to find a middle ground. We're trying to figure out, why are we loving this way? Why does this keep coming into our life? And then once we untangle it and start to better understand ourselves, magic starts to happen. So these things are coming to me to unwind these old patterns, and I respect it. And that's love in this other way, but I also have to set boundaries so I don't welcome that into my life anymore. And that's not a bad thing. Both people learn. And this woman that I had that interaction with this morning, it happened before and I had to step away. And then when things improved, I welcomed her back into my life. But at the time, and when things are going on and when there's so much confusion, nothing comes by fighting things. It comes by giving it distance, giving it space, witnessing, and moving forward. That's the true love. At least the love of self. I could have sat here and beat myself up all day about it, but it was just like, thank God. I let that go and I don't have to live with that anymore. And I set a clear boundary. And if she comes back, great. If she doesn't come back, that's her choice. So, craziness. Linda says, my block list is long. I'm trying less and less to block, but when they get irrational and they say it's love and other things, when they're not clearly seeing their side, sometimes the block is the only way. And it's not to push them away, it's just to give distance so that they can learn their side and I can learn my side without a whole bunch of codependence and trying to prove myself. I know where I stand, and I know that was unacceptable, that happened. So, and if they won't accept it, I asked, will you accept that you're coercing me and trying to use this manipulation tactic? And she said, in block letters, never. So it's great, now I know, and I can move on and step away because I know exactly what happened, I saw it. And that's the gift that we're all learning, is to have better boundaries and see where love is. So I don't want to keep this too long. So look inside. Where's the love that you're accepting as love that's actually a twisted, and it's control and it's old patterns and old trauma showing up? And then you can start to say, no more. I don't want that in my life, and I don't have to keep listening to it. So, and blocking works, but just be clear and communicative so that they know why you're stepping away. And that's all you need to do. And it's complete. And there's no waiting around all day for a text or whatever to come back. It's just how it is. So loving yourself is more important than loving another person first. And that's what I've had to learn. Self-love. There's nothing without it. And then I don't need other people's love once I love myself, and it becomes magic. So See you guys all. See you with Linda, and love you all. Where's your love? Take a listen if you're just joining in now. There's a lot shared earlier on. Have a good day.